Close your eyes and listen to the sound of the rain against the window. We have all heard the story. A beautiful girl falls in love with a terrifying beast. They dance in a golden ballroom. The curse is broken, and he turns into a handsome prince. It is a tale of hope. But what if I told you that the fairy tale was a lie? What if the beast never turned into a prince? What if he remained a beast until his very last breath? Tonight, on the Midnight Novel, we are not reading a child's book. We are opening the dusty pages of history to find the real man behind the mask. His name was not Beast. His name was Petrus. Settle in and pull the blanket closer, because this story is not about magic. It is about the cruelty of men. The year is 1537. The place is the island of Tenerife. In the darkness of a cold night, a child is born. But the moment his parents look at him, they scream. The baby is not like other children. His entire body, his small face, is covered in thick, dark hair, like the fur of a wolf. In those times, people were superstitious. They didn't see a medical condition. They saw a monster, a wild man. At the tender age of 10, little Petrus was not sent to school. He was put in an iron cage. Imagine the fear of a 10-year-old boy, dragged away from his home, locked behind bars, fed raw meat like an animal. He was shipped across the ocean as a gift for the King of France. A gift, not a human, but a curiosity, a pet. When he arrived in the dungeons of Paris, the doctors poked him. They waited for him to roar. But Petrus did not roar. He whispered. The king was shocked. He realized this monster had a gentle soul. So, the king decided to conduct an experiment. Let us see, the king said, if a beast can become a gentleman. Petrus was taken out of the cage. He was dressed in the finest silks. He was taught to speak Latin, and Petrus, he excelled. He was smarter than most of the people in the court. But even in his velvet robes, the court still whispered. To them, he was just a monkey wearing a suit, the loneliest man in the most crowded palace of France. Years passed. The king died, and Queen Catherine took the throne. History remembers her as a brilliant woman, but also a cruel one. She wanted to see what kind of children a beast would produce. So she found a bride, a beautiful young woman, also named Catherine. Imagine the scene. The day of the wedding. The young bride had never met her groom. She had no idea who she was marrying. She stands at the altar, her heart racing, and in walks Petrus. The moment she saw his face, hidden beneath layers of dark hair, she must have frozen. Every instinct told her to run, but she could not. The queen was watching that night. Petrus stood in the corner, terrified, not of her, but of himself. He expected her to hate him, but this is where the true magic happened. Not fairy tale magic, but human magic. The wife did not run. Over the days and weeks, she stopped looking at the fur. She started listening to the voice. She found a man who was kind, a man who was gentle. Against all odds, she fell in love with him, and he adored her. They had a happy marriage. They had 7 children. For a moment, life was perfect. The beast was loved. But remember, I told you this is a tragedy. The curse of the beast was not in his heart. It was in his blood. 4 of their children inherited his condition. They, too, were born with faces covered in hair. And the queen and the nobles of Europe, they did not see a family. They saw a collection. The worst pain for a father is to cannot protect his children. Petrus's children were taken away and given as gifts to other nobles, like puppies, like objects. The family was torn apart. They were painted in portraits, not as people, but standing in forests, looking like animals. Eventually, broken and old, Petrus and his wife retired to Italy. They lived their final days in quiet, away from the staring eyes. But even in death, the world was cruel. There is no grave for Petrus. You see, in those days, animals were not given Christian burials, despite his noble clothes, despite his loving heart. To the end, they only saw the beast. So, the next time you see the Disney movie, remember Petrus. Remember the man who lived in a cage, but had a heart bigger than a king. Real monsters don't always have fangs. Sometimes they wear crowns. The fire's dying down now. The castle is quiet. If this story touched your soul, subscribe to the Midnight Novel. Join our family. I will be here, waiting for you in the next dark chapter. Close your eyes now. Let the rain wash away the sadness. Good night.